Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Dreamweavers podcast. Thank you so much for being here. It is just me today, just Ronnie, and today I have with me Mr. Attila, all the way from Budapest, Hungary. So, hello, Mr. Attila. How are you
Hi,
today,
everybody.
friend?
Hello. So, thank you for having me in the podcast.
Thank you for being
And
here.
it's an honor for me from so far away to be mentioned over there and a little bit popularized.
Isn't that the beauty of technology?
Yes, it's
Ah,
wonderful. So,
yeah.
it's amazing what time we are living because I tell people that other lifetimes it was very, very hard to get too close to the knowledge or meet people and everyone. So also the universe should have very hard time to organize to handle all these karmic connections. What we can handle now very easily and meet everybody who we have any business to do or karma to
Hmm.
resolve and other stuff. So in the past lives, we had to either go to some secret society and make a lot of contracts and vows and whatever to, or others, some religious organization like Catholic Church or any other, and you could just get to special spiritual information, probably just like that, or either you were gifted and perhaps you channeled some information, but to validate it or to chit chat about it with someone, it should be very special or almost impossible, I think,
It
outside
is
of these
special.
organizations.
I agree with you. It is special, and I'm so grateful that so much is more out in the open. And it's interesting that you bring up like how we got information before, because sometimes I actually think about that. I'm like, how did, like back in the day when we used to send letters on horses and stuff, or we walked everywhere, to get
Yeah,
information. And today it's like everything is just here. It's incredible.
and
And
think
because
about
it's
it
all
in.
here, we can, like you said, we can all have these sacred conversations about sacred information. It's so good.
Yes, and it's also the abundance of the information is a little bit a problem because we have to have a very evolved discernment to know what is right, what is fake, what is distorted, what is a little bit of manipulation.
Right. And
So it's
that's where the
also it happens
awareness,
in this social space everywhere on YouTube, on Instagram, and
right,
it's a minefield. Even for
right.
me, I I know my traps. Let's say that I follow the lot of people, and after a certain time, you start to think it shouldn't be right. It's time to move on to to relax or step back a little bit from someone. So it's
Oh,
very
that's where
hard
our
also
awareness.
with this abundance of information to find the right channels for you or the right information, whatever is resonating with you or
Exactly.
and it's
Exactly.
also part of the journey and it's learning to discern what is good, what is bad for you, what resonates, what's not resonates. And I usually say that it's probably a lot of guy like I follow Bashar or
Mm,
we can mention names or channels, no? It's no
absolutely.
problem.
Absolutely.
Ah,
Yeah, we
okay.
love Bashar. Yes, we are
Yeah, I
Bashar
love
fans.
Bashar, but about 80% I am okay with what he does,
Mm,
and there is a small percentage about this hybridization agenda that we should follow that and that's the right way. I am not always thinking that it's a
mm.
little bit their agenda to pull us into all of that and agree to that and so on so on. So
And there you
but
go.
it's something it's in the air. A lot of people are resonating with it. So probably I am involved in the hybridization. story with Bashar and their group, but I am not always happy with it. That I am not always sure that it was a good choice back, whatever my ancestor or whoever made this choice to agree with them to be in this. But it is what it is. So
Yeah.
we are in
Well, and
it,
I
and
think I think you hit it spot on when you said, you are the one who has to discern what the information works for you. Take what you need and leave the rest. That's what I tell people all the time. Just take what
yes.
resonates with you and what works for you. That is part of your awareness and your intuition. And you take that, and what doesn't, just leave it alone because it wasn't meant for you. It's that easy.
Yes, and even I notice on myself when I'm watching videos that probably what is not so concerning to me, it's I don't even watch it. I have multiple monitors, so
There you
it's
go.
just in one window, and whatever is important to me, it's probably I am focused on it, but the rest is perhaps not for
Eh,
me. So
exactly.
it's
Exactly.
you don't have to be so focused on these guys in every minute, every word, but whatever is important for you, I believe it's your guides and teachers will make you listen and think
Yeah,
about
they
it.
will make
And
you listen. Whew, they will. So, Mr.
yes,
Attila, tell us, what exactly is it that you do?
um, it's very hard to tell because I do
Oh,
so much things.
okay.
But perhaps the most interesting, what I usually call this is the spirit release therapy, a little bit like exorcism or whatever. The old times probably it was called, and everybody knew it like exorcisms to removing entities. But
Okay.
spirit release therapy, it's not exactly with Lara Star's branch. I learned it, but let's say old Spirit Release Academy students who are not exactly with the academy anymore, let's say, and they teach it a little bit and add their experiences and their knowledge and also when Lara started to mention the academy, and they started to post the reports on the Facebook
Hmm.
channels and
I
whatever.
remember I remember seeing some of those.
There
Uh-huh.
were floating around a few PDFs about the reports, and as I was already visiting a lot of practitioners here in Hungary who we were doing very similar stuff, just there was never a method for it. So when I saw the first PDFs, I immediately started to do it on friends because I knew what we have to search for and what are the key questions. And
Mm.
one of the friends' husband was, let's say, in a very bad form and very bad behaving, and I just made the clearing for the whole family. And I just let it, okay, I made it, whatever happens. But I talked to the friend and she said that, oh, my husband totally changed. He's so lovely and so much change. And I was totally surprised. Okay, it worked. What
Aha.
happening? So, and after I started to take it very seriously, and since
What
that,
shift what shifted for you? When you say you started to take it more seriously, what does that look like? Was it a couple
Uh,
of different types of
it's
clients that you
like
had
I
maybe?
always do, like I was studying for engineering,
Hmm.
and I am very good with the informatics and everything, and
Okay.
graphics and things like this. Whenever I find something that I will work with, I start to do worksheets. So very nice. Perhaps I can show you very nice worksheets that every cell is helping me to remember what to do and whatever to do. So I started to do my worksheets for the clearings and everything with very detailed information when I do it for
So
who
you
and
went
whatever. So
deeper.
I have a stack of hundreds of sheets already with the clearings. Every is documented, whatever I found. So I started to do these worksheets and all the clearings for the friends, taking notes, everything. So
So
that's meant to do it
yeah.
very seriously.
Yeah, I understand that. So to me, it means like going deeper in your own work and starting the research process to really get in there. Okay,
Yes,
that's
yes, yes.
really awesome. Some people, when they say I started taking it seriously, is because they had like some sort of epiphany that like had that click for them, so everybody figures it out differently. So that's why I was wondering. Good for
Yeah, and
you.
also I had since 2017 I have contacts to mediums here in Hungary, and
Okay.
we were doing this release type of past life, look into things and a lot of stuff. So all these categories what we are searching for was not foreign for me. I knew about already a lot of my past life, my karma issues, and things like this. So it was clicking for me that, okay, I definitely want to do this. I already follow so many channelers all over the world from Gaia TV who were doing
Mhm.
the channeling shows, and all of these I followed already and was very aware with how the channeling happens and everything. So I was very aware of the entity types a little bit, or reptilians, or whatever, what type of agendas are rolling.
I've
So
already
it was
heard of all
clicking
those.
for me. So it was not at all foreign for me to work with this type of stuff and concepts and everything.
Mm,
So it's quite interesting, and I love to do it. It's a
yeah.
little bit of a passion for me to find out what's happening and how to do it.
So when you do yours, do you do it the traditional way where people when people are your SRT, it's when people are sleeping, I understand, and
No,
or
it's just remote stuff.
just remote, right?
It's just
Not
remote,
necessarily when
and
they're sleeping.
also, like Larstar mentions, that if you announce it that you will do it this and this time, the entities will flee away and you will find nothing technically or very minor stuff,
Mm-hmm.
not the real troublemakers. So I just, whenever I have a request in next 2 3 days, when I feel the urge to do it, I do it.
Okay.
So it's, if you announce it a little bit, it's also the entities they are telepathic, they are in the field, so
Mm-hmm.
they will leave their target or their human, and you won't find major stuff. Perhaps the implants or whatever they leave around, but not the entity usually.
Yeah. So do you also do any past life working one-on-one with clients to see
Not usually,
if there's a
not usually,
okay.
but if I want to look into what should be the story behind it, usually I
Mm-hmm.
channel
Mm-hmm.
it. What should be probably a story about it, and also I think about past lives, like what we access. It's perhaps it was not us who were those people. Perhaps yes or not, but
Mm-hmm.
a lot of
Mm-hmm.
times the guides put in the story that we can connect to certain energies through these stories, that I was one of the apostle, I was whoever in Rome or wherever in the world, so or in the universe. So, and they work usually with known story by us, so like Star Wars stories, the other historical or movie stories like a Gladiator or whatever. So just
Mm-hmm.
we can connect to the vibe and we can work with it
Very.
Probably it's I want never insist that I was whatever came up I was in around Jesus or whatever story. But everybody has these stories. I was this king, this Roman figure, this whatever in the history. So, but also I have a plethora of names from the history that came up that I was, but perhaps yes, perhaps not. I am. I won't say that. And also, if you mix in all the timeline intricacies that we have in the multiverse, so it's would be very complicated to say that I was that or that.
Mm,
So I think this past life stories is more helping us to resolve issues or karma than to say that like
yeah.
law or legally that I was whoever. But I also accept that there are certain cases where it's so concrete, the memories or the situations or the locations or whatever, that it's probably coming from somewhere. So perhaps it's those cases are really those past
Yeah,
humans. Or,
there's I've encountered people with what I do, right? So I do quantum hypnotherapy.
oh
And
yeah.
so with what I do, and I do the SRT in there as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have a couple of different modalities that I work with, being QHHT as well as SCHH.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also have a couple of other things that I do, that I have. Anyway, I digress. My point is that it's come to me that a lot of people or certain people that I work with, they got to go back and heal that ancestral trauma to be able to really undo all the karma to get to where, to get where they want to be today. The beauty is that these kids today are coming in without the karma, man. That is the coolest thing.
Mm-hmm.
Is like karma is going to the wayside with every generation that keeps coming in. It's like I find it's just us. Well, I don't like to consider myself older, but certain generations
Yeah.
where we still come with all that karma, and it's so yeah, it's really interesting. And I like, for me personally, I don't know if you because you and I both do similar things. Um, just, how we get there is a little different. And but I like finding those connections, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I do. I like finding those connections where it is, and it's just really interesting and fascinating to me. That's what I really enjoy. As well as,
Perhaps.
of course, the end, when people get, the healing and the realizations and all of that, of course.
Yeah, it's very important.
Yeah, yeah. Seeing
What
oh,
is perhaps a
that's the
little bit
best.
special that I can do decoding of whales. So, and decoding of and removing karmic seals. So,
Really?
so
Tell me more about that.
if you have a karmic contract with whatever entity or demon or whatever,
Hmm.
it's technically something happens that it's you both of have a signature on it or something like that, which
Hmm.
seals the deal. And somehow through my dragons or soul lineage or I don't know how, but one of my soul family members initiated to me these decodings, so I can remove these kind of karmic contracts with the entities. So when I do
Hmm.
clearing and I find a higher level demon or whatever, it's okay. Do you have a contract with it? Yes. Do we need to break it? Yes. Sorry,
That's
the
okay.
dog was coming. So
Aw, hello, doggy.
So then you can break these kind of seals and you
Uh-huh.
can remove the contract.
Uh-huh.
After you break the seal, and as I usually work with on the contracts, I work with Archangel Raziel, and Raziel is, as far as I know, is responsible to removing these contracts or
Azrael
handling
does,
these.
huh? Okay.
And after I asked to remove these vows or contracts or whatever, and like that, it's for me it's working. Others say that also it's sometimes the curses are coded and this kind of stuff.
Hmm. I've heard of that.
So also for me it's working, but others say they can remove it without coding. I don't know, perhaps, but
So
somehow
how
I
did
am convinced that if I find something to decode, I decode it.
so
So
how did you figure that out? That's really interesting. How'd you figure that out?
I was told to that we always hide things with veils, or we put it in the corner technically and put something on it and whatever, and we cover things or tracks or whatever. So, and whenever you clear somebody, you can check it, is there any something under code veil or whatever. And if it's coming up, it's yes, okay, let's break it, okay, what's under. And the interesting stuff, which is other healers cannot heal or don't understand why it's coming back or whatever, are usually there.
Mm.
So it's very interesting to work these kind of things. And probably in the past lives I was using these, so I noticed some of the cases that I really know how to break it with. It was just letters, later came in shapes, sounds, hand gestures, light language, whatever.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
it can be a lot of different things, and probably intergalactical species
Mhm.
do use different ones.
Mhm. They do.
So I got it that some of the contracts which was broken for Earth or for this universe, it whoever was making the universe, they signed it differently. So one of the just notes, one of the letters, one of the numbers, one of the shapes, one of the 3D shapes turned around and positioned, and so on, so on, so on. So it's quite interesting to try to find out what is this to be broken, to
Mhm.
broke, to break.
S- So, how did you get here? How did you figure out that you had these? I know you talked about you were
I
doing
have
some
a
past life
master.
stuff.
I have a master who is time to time in my perception is falling a little bit on the dark side,
A master.
but
Tell me more. Define master
it's
for me
it's
real quick,
a
please.
it's a woman who
Okay.
was clairaudient and clairvoyant since childhood. She almost
Somebody that
went crazy because she went to the street and heard everybody's thoughts at the same time and things like this.
Yeah, that's tough.
And she was connecting to not always the highest light beings, let's say.
Mm.
And when I met her, we met almost every day at because of some business. They try to use this knowledge to do crypto business, but it's always failed. And that that led me to the channeling stuff. And over there, they always talked about the channelers that yes, it's always the same voice, even if it's an archangel, even if it's a demon. So I started to dig more and more how this works and what are the caveats of doing the channelings and everything. And she always tried to find out what's the problem, how we should clear ourselves, or we are using or she's using this kind of stuff. I don't know if you know this. It's not a
Mm.
pendulum, but it's working like that. It's also moving to one direction, and it's much faster to work with. It's called sensible.
Okay.
So it's also if you say a yes, it's going like this. It's you ask for a no, it's going outside. So
Oh, kind of like the dowsing
but it can be
wands.
also like the pendulum. You need to clear it. You need to make sure you
Right.
are clear. You need to make sure you don't have any entities influencing from
Right.
the outside. So blah blah blah, as usual, as with all of these works. But the entities seem to be, for a certain time, always be one step ahead of her. And when she find out, okay, I have to clear this, and in the next 2 days, she was also look like coming with messages not from the highest light, let's say. It is what it is. I
It happens.
always went there that I want the highest good. I don't want to be nothing fancy to get rich too much or whatever. So I always went there without the existence of the outcome, like Bashar would say.
Mm.
So it's mostly, I think my clearings worked with her, and she was also going back to past lives, looking into with their guy with her guides, which was that time the creator, father, or whatever. So it's always looked like the Jolly Joker entity she is speaking to. So it's for me it's a red flag if someone is always channeling the best sounding archangels and the creator and the top ones,
Hmm.
because it's usually always the entities are using those cameos to convince somebody that the person is getting the message from the best place.
Mm.
So it's always a little bit fishy when somebody is the best team, the best angel or god or whatever talking to.
Mm. So you're always a little leery whenever they say that, huh?
Yes,
I
I
understand.
saw channelings nowadays with Archangel Raphael. A woman is channeling Archangel Raphael, but I was hearing the channeling, and yes, 30-40% of the information is sounds good, but perhaps the rest a little bit fishy, or I would say
Mm. Interesting.
it's always interesting to perhaps look up on a video. It's how much percentage is good and how much is not, or
Mm.
somebody. It's if you have a pendulum, it's easy to track all of this, or even with a book you can check if it's how much percentage is good or bad. If it's above 80, it's probably the rest you can discern it's what is fishy or not
Hmm.
good.
Hmm.
But it's
So,
so
so that's how
yes.
you got started, is you met up with
Yes, and I started to
this
work with
person.
her, and
Okay.
her made initiations, and I got this from her. Okay, it was blessed by Archangel Michael and whoever,
Mm.
and it works. Usually it works. And it's very interesting if you lose something or searching for a place, you just ask and it will show you the direction, even if it's like turning back so much or whatever. So,
Ah.
one time I lost my car keys in the house, and okay, I don't know where it is. And it
And it
showed
just kind of showed you right where it
and
was.
it kind of showed that it was outside, and there is a small ledge or something, and I went out, and it was there.
Oh, how
So
cool.
I was really amazed. Okay, I will use it more. And sometimes I ask my It's not pendulum. It might sense be where it's something, and it's perhaps I cannot understand it what he wants to say me, but sometimes I cannot find the stuff what I'm searching for.
Okay. Well, that happens. I think everybody loses things.
It's every time happens, so you cannot be 100% right always with these stuffs and everything. You need to learn to do even without it. So
Mm.
so
So, and
we
you had
cannot.
mentioned dragons. How do your dragons fit into this, and how did you become aware of them?
Uh, it's again. I don't know if you followed Lara Star in the first times. There was a practitioner in the visiting the podcast, Rachel Chemness. I don't know if you
Mhm.
are aware of
I
her. It's on
absolutely I
website.
am.
And when I couldn't go to the first Spirit Release Academy workshop in England, it was a little bit too expensive for me. But probably I am glad I didn't want to.
Okay.
Let's not dive into too much, but I decided, okay, that I cannot go. There is two ways. I don't want to be the facilitator. I want to be the medium.
Mm.
And as Rachel Chemness is teaching channeling, mediumship, all of these stuff,
Yes,
I
she
went to
does.
her website, I subscribed to the inner circle, and I
Hmm.
started to watch all the meditations and videos and everything. I made back in 1997 Reiki 1.
Hmm.
And so I made with her a Reiki 2 certification, and I made so many times the Open Eight Senses meditation she has that it's opening clairaudience, clairvoyance, or other clairs, and
Hmm.
it started to work. So I am quite happy nowadays with clairaudience. Clairvoyance, I am not happy yet, so I don't watch always the movies, but some images or sense of the spaces wherever a meditation is, I get. And all the other clairs, Claire knowing or Claire cognizance, I think.
Hmm.
It's when you instantly know that it's
You just know
right and it's
things.
like that.
Precognition, yeah. It's
Claire
where you just
cognizance.
know.
So, and Richard Chambliss has their meditations with dragons. Also, there is a wonderful woman who is channeling Merlin, April in the Wild in the group, and a lot of
I'm
meditations
sorry, they're
as
channeling who again?
Merlin,
Oh,
Merlin,
Merlin.
Merlin, yeah.
Oh, really?
And she has
I think I've heard that.
hours of
I think I've heard
Merlin.
that.
You should check out because she is
Yeah,
very
I
good.
think I think I have heard. I think I think that's sounding familiar to me now. I
Yeah,
was going back in the
so
memory banks.
and I was very much drawn to her meditations. Every month she has an hour something in the between the videos of Rachel Tegman's videos. So def I specifically watched all of it, and Merlin is talking about their dragons and everything. So I started to connect back to my dragon past, and I found Mercatis, which is my not higher self, but a little bit upper something level dragon. And later came in another dragon, which is a galactic dragon, who is also very high dimensional and level, and who is was creating this universe and whatever, or co-creating, let's say. So I
Hmm.
started to connect to these dragons, and more information came in. And one day it came in that Mercatis was one of the seven Pleiadian dragons who came here to teach the people, and Merlin was one of the first students for magic teaching for Mercatis, and this Mercatis dragon was the first dragon of Merlin. So they
Really?
made friendship and everything. And the best thing was when I was asking just the name from April in the Wild that if she can ask Merlin about Mercatis, it's am I perceiving well that they have a connection and
Yeah.
something? And she was very kind and made me a messenger voice note of 10 minutes that yes, and Merlin was confirmed it, and yes, we know each other, and so on, so on, so on, so on.
How
So it was a
great.
wonderful confirmation that yes, these dragons are real, and yes, these are those dragons which were working with Merlin, and later I got in some of the meditations that in Lemuria I was who were training the dragons, perhaps already in a human form and not anymore in a dragon form, but something like this.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That is so
so
great.
it's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's extremely fascinating to me. So yeah. Um, I've had the pleasure of having a conversation with Rachel, and I did not I've just had a conversation with her and
Hmm.
I found her to be really awesome. So, yeah,
She's really awesome.
she
So
really
I
is. I
made
en I enjoyed our conversation.
trans level one I made, not certified myself yet, but because I didn't make yet
And I was gonna
videos for it, but for me it was almost natural for this trans channeling because when I first watched the video how to do it, oh, it's so easy. Okay, I can do it. And
Yeah.
since then, technically, I can do it. I don't spoil her. It's her method and her business to teach it. But it's very easy and everybody can do it. If somebody is interested to doing trans channeling, I highly recommend. And
I
perhaps the
was
only who is teaching it professionally, I think it's one of the best. It's Rachel. So I didn't find anybody else who is teaching professionally trans
mm,
channeling.
hmm, that's interesting. I happen to know a few people who do. Um,
Okay, that's
so
good.
yeah, but I mean, no, it's just it's fascinating about how we find what that tells me? What that tells
It's
me
so
all the
family.
time, Attila.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
is
always
it
the
you
right
get
people
what
who
you
we
need,
have
you
business to.
get
Yes.
who you need when you
Yes,
need them.
definitely.
It's all about what you need when you need it. And so that's what it tells me is that just happened to be the right person for you at the right time.
Yes. Yes, it's definitely
Go
synchronicity
you. Yeah,
and
man. Yeah. When the
it's always like
synchronicities
that.
start flying, oh my gosh, it's yeah, when the synchronicities start flying. So that leads me to Attila. Do you channel by chance? And would you like to if you do?
Sorry, but lately I didn't practice too much,
Okay.
so I
Okay.
would skip it.
That's okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. Yeah, no,
Sorry,
I
sorry.
under no apologies
So,
necessary. No apologies necessary. Yeah. All right. So then where are you going with all this? So your main focus is you really get in there and you get those entities and you really work at that higher level, helping people get clear and stuff like that. So,
yes, this is one branch I would say.
uh-huh.
And where I learned these clearings in Scotland last year, exactly
Hmm.
these days, last year in
Oh,
June,
wow.
I
Happy
met,
anniversary.
yeah, I met Soul family members technically there, Kim also, and Lian and Crystal and others, and we
Mm-hmm.
still
Mm-hmm.
keeping contact. And
Good old
Leon
Kim.
was kind enough to introduce ourselves to the Light Body by Orin and Daben Foundation. So I am very much into it and try to progress with it as much as I can.
So you're working in the light body now?
Yes, and I want to teach it. So
Okay.
this year later, probably I try to do one of the foundation courses, which is giving you the how-tos to teach this light body stuff. And I went to do that
Very cool.
too. It's very interesting and I love it very much. It's very, very intuitive to follow them and how you can connect to your light body. So it's really, really something very good method what they brought to Earth 25 years or 30 years ago. I don't know exactly, but it's
Hmm.
not something new, but it's still
It's
working and
that
still
light
very
body
good.
stuff is really, really, I find that
Powerful
to,
and
yeah, I'm looking for words because I find that to be um, just a whole new level.
yes, that's I
Just,
found
I mean,
too.
it's just a whole nother level that's just, I haven't deep dove all the way into it as much as I plan on here very soon, but because Kim and I are good friends, you know, by the way, hello again, Kim. Mwah. We love the Kim around here, man. Anyway, uh, but everything that I have learned about that light body stuff is it is just a whole nother level of wowzers. Like it's
Yes,
just,
so
and like
it's
I said, I'm super stoked and excited to really get in there and learn and work with it.
for me it's really if I want to raise my vibration, it's the go-to practice is to do the light body.
Yes, yes,
So
that's actually what
it's
I've been working
really
on.
really making you the highest vibration you can attain probably in the physical 3D world.
Yeah,
And
one of,
even
yeah, one of,
above and everything. So
hmm it really is. So that's to come. So you have, so you're working on your light body and you have a course coming out in light body work, maybe towards the end of
yes,
the year,
yes, I
you're
would
thinking?
like to do. Perhaps not online. It's here in Hungary
Oh,
locally.
okay.
I already have a small friend of groups who are very interested in spirituality, and they have all a
Wonderful.
little bit perhaps other modalities or something, and they are very interested to learn the light body stuff. So
Score.
probably they will be the first students or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
and
you're
I
beta
will be their
testing.
students in certain other things. So that's one of the thing I want to teach and
So
make or
exciting.
let put into flow my knowledge on all of this. I want to do these clearings. One of my special idea was about the clearings to do before wedding clearings for families. So before the two families is coming together in the wedding and everything, clear everybody that they can be on the same vibe and resolve their karmic issues and this kind of stuff.
That's
So it's a
actually a
bigger
really
package,
brilliant. Yeah, that
but
is actually really brilliant.
it's to getting together a couple. Probably they have some karmic issues or whatever they are together,
Yeah.
why they are together, and also a little bit getting the two families to the same level and not everybody bringing their entities to the wedding and so on. And also
That,
clearing wedding places or venues or this kind of stuff.
like a
Because
spiritual wedding.
otherwise, I
uh,
think it can be make a difference really on first of all between the families.
Yeah.
First of all, in the wedding, can go much smoother, let's say.
Well, and then the
And also,
marriage
if
as
a
well,
venue
because you
is
don't,
cleared before the wedding, or even the church
right.
probably needs some cleaning sometimes.
Well, and that's what
This
I was gonna
can.
say. And then the duration of the marriage, they're not gonna have all these outside influences unbeknownst to them,
Yes, yes,
that's gonna
yes.
be so
And
great. It's like nipping it in the bud, man. That's a brilliant idea, Attila. I
it's a million
second
dollar
that.
business
Go
idea, I
you.
know.
That is an amazing idea. I think that, yes, I think so many people need that.
Yes, me too.
I love
So it's.
that.
I am open to do the first request for these kind of weddings to do it
Yeah.
for free if somebody is up to.
Hey guys, did
this
you hear that? He
experience.
said he's willing to do it for free to give it a trial. Yeah. Ooh, we will totally market that. I don't know if you know this, but we also have a Dreamweavers Facebook page that
Oh,
we've just
yes.
created. It's a whole community. So that will be perfect on there because we do free things. Because it's a community for people
Yes, we can try to
differently.
offer it
So
there.
I would love to post that on there for you. Yeah. Three wedding. Okay,
Thank you very
cool. So
much.
people who are getting, yeah, thank you. Thank you. That's what this is all about, friend. Um, three frees. I was writing that down to make my mental notes. Um,
That's good.
yeah, man, because that's what this is. So great. So great. Yeah, we'll get that out there for you. All right.
Thank you very
I
much.
just think that I don't know why, but that really resonates with me immensely, Attila. I think you're really onto something there, and it really, really resonates with me. And I'm like, that's going to be a good thing for
And
you.
what else I am doing? I don't know how much aware
Yeah.
you are with the dosing stuff.
Okay.
These
I haven't
these
gotten
rod
into it too.
can
Mm-hmm.
this these things can, and also with your hand you can sense certain type of energies.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you are aware of the Hartmann grid, which is 2 meter by 2 meter north-south band squares everywhere on the Earth,
Mm-hmm.
and if you are sleeping or working on a wrong spot in this grid, then it can cause you very different illnesses and problems in the body and everything.
Yeah, because you're crisscrossing energies. Mm-hmm.
Yes, crisscrossing energies. So I'm doing this kind of work even remotely on a floor plan or whatever.
Really?
So you can do it and check if somebody has mysterious problem. Western doctors don't know what's happening and why. It can be one of the causes. So it's worth to check
Wow.
it. It's if there is some water under the bed or somewhere in the area or a flat or whatever. So it's worth to know. And also there are special things like uh, the past times the people were knew certain places where people heal themselves, like a rock or whatever. So there are certain places everywhere where a lot of places on the planet where there is a positive energy outflow from Earth.
Right. We call those
And
vortexes.
if you stand in a half an hour or whatever, you can fill yourself up or whatever. So when I first heard about it, okay, I check my house if I have it. And oh, I have it. Where is it? And it's
Really?
one of the corners in the house in my living room is a certain spot like that. And it's I put a small tent on it because it amplifies a little bit these kind of energies, and I use it to heal myself and friends who are coming over. Can I sit in the tent for 10 minutes? It's everybody loves it,
Really?
and
How
it's a kind of
wonderful.
special place. Yes, so
And
it's
you didn't know
also
that. It
this
just,
no this knowledge with the dosing also very practical to find these kind of spots, and also here around the hills I already found a few more. So it's very interesting. And the old times, these places where they had the miracles and these kind of things. So usually, if you find a spot like this, there is a church over it or a shrine or something, but
mm-hmm.
probably not everywhere. So probably there are free spots still.
Yeah, there's
But
still
it's
spots.
very good to know where is the closest to you this kind of spot, and it happens to be on your property or not, or whatever.
That's so
Perhaps you,
great.
if you have the property, you can decide that your healing studio will be over there or this kind of
Mm-hmm.
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's I was very surprised I have it, but now I totally understand why I have it. So
Very
So
good.
I
I
perhaps in the
was
future I
Go
try
ahead.
to do a small teaching room downstairs, and it will include this spot too.
Very
So it's
good. So you're
very
going to create
interesting.
like a whole situation where you are, yeah, why would you not if you're sitting on a
Yes,
vortex? That's so great.
yeah. So it's
Yeah. Over here we
it's
call those vortex or vortices. Um and I have been I've meditated on those and
it's
everybody has
interesting.
their well, for me they worked. For me,
Yes,
every time I was even close to them, I would just light up. I could just
yeah.
I
It's
as
very
soon
uplifting.
when I knew where they were, I used to live in Sedona, Arizona.
Oh,
Uh,
you are
yeah.
lucky one.
Thank you. Thank you. And while I was living in Sedona, there's a handful of them there.
Yeah, I know.
And so that's where I got to experience them. And so I knew where some of the less traveled ones are. And so I would go and just be there. And
I
like I
have a
said, as
special
you're just
valley.
walking up, you can,
Yeah,
yeah.
I have a special valley here where there are trees totally twisted. It's also the vortex energies and everything. And I visit it monthly, and it's very special. I call it Enchanted Valley. So, and
Mhm.
very special trees everywhere. So if you are there and
Mhm.
you look at the tree, it's
And
you
they
are
start doing the
sure that it's
twist. Yep.
somebody, and the twist, it's there is
Hmm.
really a spirit inside those trees, and
Oh,
those
yeah.
part of the
We
forest
have a
and area.
saying, and it's you can't make this shit up.
Yeah,
You can't make it up, friend.
it's
You
serious stuff.
can't make it up, and that's our new I think that's becoming our new catchphrase. Is that you just can't make it up. So yeah, it's really cool. Man, you have a lot of good stuff happening and so much goodness to come. Attila, I'm so looking forward to seeing what the future brings you, like what all is happening
I am
and
also
how you
very much looking
continue
forward to it.
helping people and stuff. So as of right now, how is it that people can get in touch with you?
Probably on Facebook. I have a
Okay?
Facebook page, the 144k.hu or something. I will provide you a link. Also, they can
Thank you.
reach me on Instagram, also 144k. And
144k.hu.
yes, and a web page is under construction.
Okay.
But I will fire it up, and there is
But on Facebook it's
every
144k.hu.
yes,
Okay.
it's also
Yeah,
so
perfect.
we can
Okay.
post these links and they can find me, and I am happy to help
Absolutely.
everybody, even with the weddings. If we have somebody who is up to this experience, or I
Yeah.
am happy to do it
Yeah, because
on
that's
a
the long
trial
term.
one.
That's a long term. That'll be
And
so cool. Excuse me.
also the one-on-one clearings for somebody, it's the whoever is cleared, it doesn't have to agree it or whatever. We ask permission from higher subs, so the and probably whoever has serious entities will never agree to be cleared, so it's evident.
Good. Good. And you let all that be known so people understand
Yes, so
yes, what can and cannot be done. I know sometimes people want things and you're like, well, apparently it's not.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
most of the times my dragons, as they made this universe probably and co-created, they can do anything mostly
Hmm.
in
Very cool.
reasonable
Mr. Attila,
corridors.
this has been an amazing, amazing time for me getting to know you. Thank you so much. And
Thank
we
you
will
very much
definitely
having on
get
the
all those
podcast.
links. Oh, thank you for being here. We'll get those links posted below for you without a doubt.
Thank you very much.
And again, just yeah, thanks so much for being here. And I look forward to bringing you back one day. Let's
Oh,
see what you're
I'm
doing
happy
in a
to
few
come back
months.
and with the news what's happening.
Thank you. Yeah, let's see what happens with you in a few months. I'm excited to see about those wedding things. Those wedding clearings. I think that's
That's very interesting.
I
If it
really,
works.
I'm feeling that, friend. Let me tell you, I'm really feeling that. There's something there with that. So, but anyway, guys, as always, it has been a pleasure. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Deanna usually does the wrap up. I don't remember what she says all the time. Uh, I should know that. I should know that. I should know that. But I know she says, "Be blessed and be blessed." That's what I do remember. Is
That's very
thank you,
nice.
everyone. Be blessed and be blessed. Attila, thank you so much. Have a
Thank you
great
very
rest of your
much.
day.